Hello ladies, today is new Jamacure day, so I thought I would do a little video first and show you how I take off my current jams to make sure I don't cause any damage to the nail bed, and then later tonight I'll be doing my new Jamacure and I'll show you a video of me doing just a couple of my nails so you can see how I apply them. So first we'll do the removal process. These are my 2-week-old jams, which still look fantastic, of course. So what I do is, I'll do the thumb, and I've got my heater going off the camera because it's a little loud, but I'm going to hold this thumb in front of my heater just to warm it up for a second. And you can use your hair dryer, you can do a rice bag just to warm it up. You want to make the adhesive just a little gummy and kind of get it, you know, slippery again, which is the easiest way. So I'm going to heat it up for a second, and then I have the Jamberry cuticle oil, which came with the application kit with oil. And what I do is I just take a touch of oil and I run it along the bottom edge here of my nail just to get it kind of under the edge of the jam, okay? And then I use my orange stick like this, and I just kind of work up the edge. And you can see it'll come up a little bit around the edges pretty easily. But it will be tough in the middle, and you don't want to just take it and rip it off, because it'll come off, but it will pull up some nail bed with it if you've had these on for 2 weeks or more. So what I do is I just kind of, using the flatter edge of the orange stick, I kind of start pushing around the edges and working that oil underneath the jam. And you can see it'll start to just lift a little bit more, all the way around. And I just work it a little bit, and I just kind of push the oil under there. And if I feel like I'm getting a little sticky part that's like not working as well, I'll heat it up again and just get a little more heat going on it. So just for a second. And so I'm back. And I'm just pushing it up and getting that oil going. You can also put a little bit more oil if you think you need it, but I found that just a little under the edge really does work. So I'm just pushing it up, and you can see it's coming up pretty easily. And eventually what will happen, and these obviously I did a really good job with because they have lasted so long, but eventually what will happen is the jam will start to kind of slide around on you, and you will be able to just kind of pull it off towards the top. I'm trying to make sure I get this on the camera too, but you can see around the bottom edges it's all coming up pretty nicely. And you get just a couple more pushes here in the middle. You don't want to force it too much. And boom, jam is off. You see, my nail is perfectly fine under there. It has a little discoloration, but that's actually from some lacquer I used that was not Jamberry not too long ago, and so I have a little bit of a discoloration there, but that's not from my jam. Now there will be a little adhesive on your nail, so you want to make sure that before you do your new Jamacure, you really wash with the Dawn soap, and that you use the alcohol wipes to make sure the nail's nice and clean and dry, and you get all that oil off of there too. So there's one jam down. So let's do another one. So heater first. I'm just letting it get nice and warm, nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. So I'm going to come back to my oil. Okay, and I'm just going to run it along the bottom edge, kind of work it under with the brush a little bit. You just want to make sure you get a good little coat of oil all the way around the edges. And I've also seen people soak the nails in oil, or like nail polish remover. You could just like put them in a bowl and soak them for a few seconds, and it'll get it worked up the same way. But this has worked for me, and so I've been using this way. So I'm going to work around the edges first, and like I said, the edges usually come up pretty easily because by this time you're 2 weeks in, and it's about time to change them out. So the edges are coming up really nicely. You can kind of see where those were popping up on me. See? And then I'm going to take my flat edge again, and I'm just gonna work into the middle. See, this one's coming off really nicely. The thumb was a little bit tricky, but this one's just popping right up. And you can see, perfect nail. Totally good. Like I said, there's a little adhesive there, and now it's a little oily from the cuticle oil, so I'll make sure that I clean and buff and swipe really good before I do my new jams. Okay, so let's do one more, just so you get a good feel for it. I'm trying to work it so you can see what I'm doing in the camera here. Heat it up. See if I can do the middle finger without offending anybody. How about that? So again, I'm going to work a little oil around the nail, around the edges here. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to take the pointy ends. I'm just going to kind of push around the edges and get them flipped up. And you can kind of see them coming up a little bit. It's hard to see on the camera, but see, I'll show you. You can kind of see where the edges come up right there. See? And then I'm just going to take the flat edge again, and I'm just going to work the oil under the jam, kind of run it across, kind of push very gently. I don't want to force it up. Just kind of gently rub the nail until you get it nice and loose. And like this one on the edge over there. And it's easy to, like, I'm pretty far along now, so I could take it and just kind of gently work it up, but you don't want to get to the top and then go, oh, that's close enough, and rip, because you can cause some damage to the tips of your nails. I did that my first Jamacure, and it's just now grown out from back in July. I was like, oh, these are easy to pull off, and I just yanked them off. Like, what do you mean a gentle removal process? No problem. Don't do that. So there you go, perfectly clean nails. And as you can see, there's a little adhesive, a little sticky on there, and so when I clean my fingers, that'll come off. And then the alcohol wipe will help take the oil down and kind of really clean it off. And then I usually do a little buff, but I'll show you that when I do my application a little bit later. So that's the gentle removal process that I use. It's really easy. We got through 3 nails pretty quickly. The thumb was a little tricky, but the other 2, these nails usually come up pretty quick. So I hope that helps you, ladies. Let me know if you have any questions about how I did that. I hope everybody's having a great Thanksgiving, and we'll chat a little bit more later tonight. All right, bye.